Hi, I'm Shelley Potts, and I teach 6th through 8th grade. I teach robotics, 6th grade science, and GT. Robotics is totally new to Belton this year at the middle school level, so this is pretty exciting times. I do have a robotics lab, it's room 124, and I have a science lab, which is 126. This here is my favorite photograph. That was me at Space Academy. It was an international competition that I won, and there was over 200 different educators from all over the world. I got to meet people from Australia, Singapore, China, you name it, they were there. It was great. I made lots of new friends, and I learned a lot too. That basically started a lifelong love. I got to go to Houston and teach there. I've been part of the Texas Space Grant Consortium. I've taught at NASA now 4 different times. It was all teachers, and it was at both Johnson Space Center and at Kennedy Space Center. I've taught here at SBMS since 2018. I moved to Belton in 2007, and my 2 children have both graduated from Belton New Tech, and both of them are college students now. We also have 2 dogs. One of them likes to help me teach when we're at home. One of my hobbies is Civil Air Patrol, and we fly planes, work on robots, launch rockets, do cybersecurity, and we do emergency services too. Pretty cool stuff. Rules of our classroom is to be trustworthy, show respect, be responsible, be prepared, do quality work. And the lab, we only allow water. We don't allow food, gum, or candy because of safety reasons. Because we're in a time of COVID, we also are trying to manage health and safety as far as COVID, wearing masks. We sanitize a lot. We try to social distance. I do tell the kids that the rules can change at any point in time. With COVID, if the health organization or health department decides to change the rules, or the school, we will change our rules or procedures to comply with that. Grades in the class. 60% of the major grades, or 60% of the grade is a major grade, and there's going to be 3 every 9 weeks. In robotics, they should be projects, but tests are possible. Minor grades, we're supposed to have 9 per 9 weeks. Those are your daily grades, quizzes, that kind of thing. Since we're in a time of COVID, we have an issue with robotics, and that is we cannot send the robots home. For starters, we simply don't have enough. Robotics is a project. So while we're concerned about social distancing and the like, we're going to be working on coding. So let me start again. While we're in a time of COVID, we have an issue. While we're in this time of COVID, we have an issue with not enough robots to send home with students. The robots were bought to be shared in groups of 3 and 4. So since we have this problem, we are doing coding, and that also keeps us from having social distancing problems too. So we're starting off doing coding with Google through the CS First program. And this is basically our year at a glance. We're going to do storytelling. The subject-specific lessons are different twists on the storytelling. They will do music and sound, code our hero or their hero, pitch your passion, friends, animate a name, which can also be words, create Google logos, fashion design, which the boys sometimes groan. You know, they change warrior uniforms all the time on their games. So we talk about fashion is not always fashion. Sometimes it's warrior uniforms and that kind of thing. Venture on the high seas, exams, gumball coding adventure, art, sports, game design, and then we'll switch over to the code.org program. Now, that being said, we are going to include some robots for the students that are at school. Again, we want to do the coding not only because right now people are at home and we need to train people just in case we get stuck at home. And so getting familiar with the program is really important. So when we start the robotics program, we'll look at team building, intro to robotics, on brick programming, because you can do it both on the brick and the computer and basically communicate it over through a cord to the robot. Moving the robot, there's different challenges moving the robot. Orange palette is a special activity that I don't want to give away, and design engineering. There's lots of different ways we'll be programming, and there's also some challenging it's like space missions kind of things. They have mats where they have different challenges to move the robots around and to pick up items, that kind of thing. We probably will not do a competition this year since COVID's messing us up and we're starting with coding, but anything can happen. 2020 has been an interesting year. So I hope that hasn't been too confusing. This is how you can contact me. My email is shelley.potts@bisd.net. My class phone is 215-3098, and we also have a phone in a robotics lab, 3043. If you call those and leave a message, it does actually go to my computer. So even if it's a day when we're at home, it's possible I may be getting your messages that way. So don't hesitate to call that way. If you need to talk to me, I will call you back from a different number if I'm at home, but that is one way to contact me. The district has set up Remind for us, so that is another way to contact me. It's a website service that uses text messaging if you're not familiar with it, and it is on the internet if you need to check that out. Schoology also has a messenger that the kids can send us messages through that way. I am not tech support, so if you're having tech issues, I do suggest you try them. But if the kids are getting some weird message that they think I need to do something, please have them send me a screenshot, because we've gotten some new ones lately that we didn't know how to handle at all. Nobody in the building has even handled them before. So this is a weird year. So again, if you need anything at all, please contact me. Thank you so much for coming to my virtual open house.